ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I'm your host with the most, as always, Francois878. And today we're going to be talking about the new augments in the Silver Grove. That's right, in Update 1 of the Silver Grove, Part 300 of Update 19 at this point. We got 3 new augment mods, one for Valkyr, one for Naros, and one for Ember. And we are going to go through them, and we are going to talk about how I feel about them. First off, as you can see here, we're going to be talking about Valkyr's Hysterical Assault. This is, of course, her augment for Hysteria. You can pick this mod up at New Loca or the Parent Sequence Syndicates for 25,000 standing. And this augment's pretty nice, depending on how you build Valkyr. Basically what this mod does is you can hit the secondary fire button, which is default to the mouse wheel button, and you can leap to targets up to 30 meters away. Now, my big issue with this mod is that your power range affects how far away the leap distance is. So if you don't have a lot of power range, or if you have less than 100% power range, you're not going to have that leap distance. You can see here I'm actually trying to leap and very quickly realizing, oh, I do not have the range on this build at all. So it's going to be a tough mod to include on a Hysteria build that's already established. As you can see here, I have trouble just making it to that guy who was pretty close. So that being said, if you have close to 100% range on your Valkyr, you are probably going to have a lot of fun with this mod. It could definitely keep the pace of the fight going. It will allow you to keep that kill aura as low as possible, so you don't have to worry about taking damage when you go out of Hysteria. And also, it's just increased movement speed, which is fantastic, which you can't go wrong with as far as Valkyr. She is a ball of just vicious claws. So it's a solid mod, depending on how your builds are already set up. You may have to tweak it a little bit to get 100% range or close to 100% range. 30 meters is a decent length. I would recommend not going above 100% unless you're building for another ability. But if you're just building to try and get Hysterical Assault a good range, I would say 100% is more than enough. There is one more thing I wanted to mention. When you actually leap and start to attack the target, there is a half-second delay. When you leap, you actually do trigger an attack. If the enemy, however, isn't killed by that attack, there is a delay of about a half a second that you will not be able to attack again. So it's something to be careful of. The next new augment mod is for Naros. It's called Elemental Sandstorm. It can be picked up from the Arbiters of Hexus and Parent Sequence for 25,000 Syndicate standing. This augment mod allows you to, it basically fuses any elemental mods that you have equipped onto your melee weapon with Sandstorm. Now, in theory, this is a great mod, and if you were building for Sandstorm, it would be one that I recommend. The problem is that the base ability Sandstorm is so expensive to cast and to keep running that it's not an ability that you're going to be able to just walk around the map and keep on. It's definitely an ability that you are going to have to use selectively when in large groups, because you can see in the gameplay, actually, because it's a channeling ability, I'm not allowed to pick up energy orbs, and I don't get energy from my teammates' spell casts like Energy Vampire. So it's an expensive it's an expensive ability to cast, and to try and bring the cost down, you're going to sacrifice damage and range. So it's a tough mod to build for. In theory, it's good, but we'll see if it actually has some practical use. I feel like Inaros has better mods and better abilities. But the third and final new augment we got was for Ember. It is called Flash Accelerant for her second ability, Accelerant. It can be picked up from the Red Veil and Steel Meridian for 25,000 Syndicate reputation. And basically, any allies within range of Accelerant when it's cast gets 50% fire damage applied to all weapons and 50% casting speed applied to any allies in range. This is incredible. This is a mod. I don't want to say it should be on all Ember builds, but you should try to get it on your Ember build if you can. 50% extra casting speed is amazing, and 50% extra fire damage. I mean, that's just a damage buff for your entire team. You can't you can't go wrong with that. This is on top of the fact Accelerant is just a really solid CC ability to begin with. It's pretty good. It's hard to argue running her Fireball Augment, which is actually a single cast on an ally to grant 100% fire damage. I would say that Flash Accelerant is far superior because you can hit all of your allies for 50% damage and 50% casting speed, and you only have to cast it once instead of, upwards of 3 times. So it's it's definitely a solid mod, and even if you're not expressly building for Accelerant, I would still recommend maybe trying to find a spot for Flash Accelerant on your build. Now, if you're building for World on Fire and using that augment mod, maybe stay away from it. But if you can, put it on there. It's an amazing team support augment, and it is absolutely something you should use. It is great. Thank you guys very much for coming and watching my video here on the new augments. We're going to be doing some new stuff on the channel as far as Warframe related stuff goes. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I've got some ideas kicking around, so stay tuned for that coming very soon. It's going to be good stuff. I promise I won't do this at the end of every video, but I did just redesign my Spreadshirt shop. I do sell some merch. Right now it's just t-shirts. I haven't really expanded out into hoodies and phone cases and all that crazy stuff, but it is available for me, so in the future I might look into doing that. But go check that out. Link will be in the description. Until next time, I'm your host of the most, as always, Francois878, signing off.